This is unlike anything I would normally pick up off the wall in a music store. This is the Yamaha Revstar Professional. I'm kind of more of a traditionalist. Yes, I know those of you who know I have a Silver Sky are gonna be screaming at your phone and TV. I get it. So I guess you could say I'm getting out of my comfort zone. So if you happen to pick up one of these guitars in the store, you're probably gonna grab it by the neck off the wall first, and that's the first thing you're gonna feel. That's what happened to me, and that is what started my curiosity with this guitar, because the neck feels incredible. It is finished in satin, while the rest of the guitar has a gloss finish, and you know that gloss necks can be kind of iffy sometimes when it comes to speed and comfort.
Are they built for speed or for comfort?
What is wrong with you?
This, however, not only does it look great, it feels great. It is super functional. You know they did this on purpose, because you pick up the guitar, you put your hand in the neck, and I mean, you're gonna make a judgment very quickly, and I did, and it was very positive. The electronics on this guitar are super interesting. It actually took me a little bit of research to just make sure I understood exactly what we have going on here, because there's a lot that's being offered. You can see this guitar has P90s in it. I love P90s. They might be my favorite pickup because they're like this perfect middle ground between humbuckers and just straight up single coil guitars. With the two P90s on this guitar, you get a 5-way, yes, I said 5-way, selector switch. You might be saying you have two pickups. Don't you normally have a 3-way switch for two pickups? Yes, Tellys, Les Pauls, 330s, things that have two pickups. Yeah, obviously you're probably going to have a 3-way pickup switch. Not here though, not here. You do have those three traditional positions. Position 1 is going to be just your bridge pickup, the middle position is both, and the 5th position is just your neck pickup. If you go back to your Strat days, you know that you've got positions 2 and 4, but it's not a Strat, so it's not going to do the Strat thing in positions 2 and 4. But what they did do is something along those lines. They actually delay the output of one of the pickups, so you get actually an out of phase sound from those two positions, whether it be position 2 or position 4. That's interesting because on a Strat, technically out of phase is not the right term to use for positions 2 and 4. It is though on this guitar. These are literally out of phase because the output has been delayed just enough to make that happen. So you get two really cool additional tonal options that you don't have to use. You don't have to. Some people might not find them useful, but they're there. They don't get in your way. And it just makes this guitar that much more versatile than it already is just in its standard, P90 configuration. Speaking of versatility, we have this knob right here. Now, this is a volume knob, master volume, super simple, right? This is a tone knob, super simple. And it's push-pull. It's not a coil tap. It's not a coil split because these are technically single coil P90 pickups. But what this is a special boost. Now, it used to be called the dry switch. I believe it's called the focus switch. Now, forget those names for just a second. Let me tell you what this thing does. What it does is really, really interesting. And the best technical description of this that I've seen is Philip McKnight's video. Go check out his video. He breaks the whole guitar down. He literally takes it apart and will show you what is going on internally to make this happen. But essentially what we have here is a switch that does two things. First, and probably most noticeable when you flip the switch, is it changes the tone significantly of the guitar. The best way to describe it is it becomes darker. It just does. It's still usable, it's still really cool, but think like Carlos Santana on the neck pickup, thick, creamy, dark, type tones. It sounds great with overdrive. The other thing that this switch does is it actually is a boost. The pickups are hotter when you engage this. It's not a boost in the sense that you get with the boost pedal, where you can actually maybe even drive the front end of an amp, or if you have like a Clapton style mid boost where you're just cranking a knob and then 25 decibels of mid range is just boosted in your signal. There's no battery in this. It's not a boost like that, but it is a boost that is going to give you a little bit more power. It's not going to be the type of thing that's going to take you over the top of a band, but it does give you, maybe if you're on the edge of breakup, it's going to push you just a little bit further into that breakup. And it does it in a really interesting way. Like I said, there's no battery. There is voltage when you plug into an amplifier. Very minimal, it's very small, but it's there. If you open the guitar up, there is a transformer embedded in the electronics cavity, and somehow through the magic of Yamaha engineering, they've taken what little electrical current is actually running through your guitar, multiplied it, and then turned it into a passive boost, essentially. This guitar is not light. It is actually pretty significant when it comes to its weight. I think I read somewhere it's between 8 and 9 pounds, like 8.5-ish. So not gonna break your back, but it's also not a featherweight guitar. It's very, very substantial feeling. And the interesting thing is it's chambered. The body is chambered. Now, I really don't think you would know that if you didn't go read the spec sheet or check out the website that can show you the body with the cap taken off, so you can see all of the chambers that they've carved into it. It feels very resonant and open, but the other thing that it has to do is, the guitar is gonna weigh less because they took out wood, and most of that wood that they took out for the chambering is up here in these horns. I don't know if that's a balance thing. I'm not really sure exactly how they decided to put it there. Yamaha doesn't do anything by accident, so I'm sure that was a result of a ton of research as to how to properly chamber a body to make an impact both on the weight and the tone of the guitar. But it's a really cool kind of hidden feature that you're not gonna really know about looking at the guitar from the exterior. The standard and professional model, this is a professional model, have graphite reinforcements in the neck. You might not think that that's that big of a deal, but I think it really is. The stability that that provides is really useful, especially if you have different environments you're traveling to. Maybe your practice room at home is cold and you go play gigs outside. You're gonna have a guitar and it's gonna fluctuate. This is gonna fluctuate too, but having that reinforcement in both the neck and the body, by the way, is going to stabilize this thing to a point where you're not really gonna have to worry too much about that. Beyond that though, that's internal. The better part, the cooler part, the more insane part is the fact that this has stainless steel frets. And if you're not familiar with stainless steel frets, that means these things basically last forever. You're not gonna have to worry about that. It is what it is. And by the way, the fretwork on this, some of the finest, if not the finest fretwork I've ever felt. So if you happen to be in a music store and you walk by any of the Revstar line, whether it be the professional with P90s or humbuckers or any of the other versions that exist out there, you should absolutely pick it up and give it a try, because it's really, really thrown me for a loop. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I feel like I might need something like this in the arsenal. It's unique, it's functional, it is the type of guitar that's gonna last forever. Yes, stainless steel frets, I'm looking your direction. Very, very exciting. Yamaha, you knocked it out of the park. It's really, really a cool guitar. It's kind of a sleeper. Who's talking about these things? I know the videos are all over the internet. I know, I'm late to the party, I get it. But, I mean, come on, how many people did you see out gigging with one of these things?